Hello everyone, it's Mary. Welcome back to the channel. You are looking at old footage here. I brought this piece into the video because I wanted to talk to you about quickly. I kind of found new cardstock. Very exciting. So let's talk about it, but I really wanted to keep this in here to show you in my last video, which I will link below, and you can check out in full detail the Neenah, the accent, and the recollections from Michaels. I did a full comparison on them, money, how they acted with markers, all of the things, okay? So I made sure to do that whole video, but since then, we've had a really hard time finding the accent opaque, which turned out to be the winner. Accent opaque in 80 pound, 100 pound, and 120. 100 is my absolute favorite for all the things, but they are really hard to come by. Sometimes it comes back in stock. You can buy a ream or two, but as far as I can tell, you can really only buy it by the box at this point. So if you have some crafty friends around you, maybe you can do that. Pick up a box, but it's the cheapest, it's the best, it's the whitest. I love it, and I'm really super sad because it's hard to find. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you that I picked up, by your own recommendations, I picked up the hammer mill with the chameleon on it, which is very important, and I will tell you why that's important in just a second. All right, so this is the Hammer Mill Premium copy cover cardstock that I picked up. It is about, it says 100 pound, but it's not equal to the 100 pound of the accent. All right, and we'll talk about that GSM piece of it. But I wanted to show you here as far as the brightness goes. I was very pleased with the whiteness of this cardstock. The recollections from Michaels, although it's white when it's by itself, when you compare it to something like the accent or even this hammer mill, it has a yellowish hue. And so it's not as bright white. Still good, but if you're mixing cardstock and you're putting panels on bases, that can get a little funky. Here is an example on the hammer mill of some ink blending. I used oxide inks with some ink blending brushes, and I'm going to do this in real time, but then I also wanted to show you stamping. It stamps beautifully as well. So we have ink blending, we have stamping, and we also, it die cuts really well. These are alcohol markers up at the top. I did do some alcohol marker coloring on it. I don't know that I have that in the video. However, I will tell you it colors just as well for alcohol markers as any of the other cardstocks. This is its example for die cutting. So I die cut a solid image, which is actually the base of this word grateful, and then it cuts out intricate dies as well. So it does all the things really, really well and quite comparable to the 80 pound accent. So I know this is a 100 pound hammer mill, but it's comparable to the 80 more so of the accent. Okay, so I want to make sure that those accent lovers out there, you understand kind of the comparison. Okay, so the next thing that we're going to do is actually see it in real time, and I'm going to do a little bit of ink blending. Of course, I'm going to speed this up. Now with ink blending, there is a trifecta to get the absolute best ink blending, and that is going to be Bristol Smooth cardstock, ink blending brushes like I'm using, and Distress Oxide. If you take any one of those elements out, you're going to have different results. So I have 2 of the 3 elements. I feel like 2 of the 3 is good. 3 out of 3 is best. But I have here ink blending brushes and oxide inks, but I'm using the hammer mill cardstock. So I'm still getting a great blend, but I'm not getting as smooth a blend as if I had the Bristol Smooth. However, this is really good for its intended purpose. So I thought it came out really, really pretty. I would say most cardstocks are going to blend pretty well when you're using the oxide and the ink blending. Now, if I switch to dye inks or if I switch to foam brushes, you're going to have a different result. So I just kind of wanted to throw that information out there. It did not react to water as well as if it would if I was using watercolor cardstock, so keep that in mind, but it's not really meant for that either. So I do want to draw attention to that. Now I'm going to cut down the cardstock and I'm going to actually fold it into a card base so you can see what it looks like when it's folded. I know that that's another piece of comparison and sort of review that we like to look at. So I'm going to score it and then I'm going to fold it over, and I'm going to show you that when you do this, and make sure that you're folding your white cardstock in the correct direction, as I did, you're not going to get that cracking on this cardstock. So that was a really nice find. Again, I'm reviewing all the pieces of it, so this is another one. No cracking, folds beautifully. It's I would not be able to put like a very heavy shaker card panel on the front of this. I wouldn't feel comfortable with that. I'd want something more like the 120 or 100 pound from Accent. Now let's talk about the two differences here. I pulled up these two different cardstocks because I bought the one with the panda on it first, and it was just like cardstock way too thin. Then someone corrected me and said, no, you need the chameleon. So I was like, okay, chameleon it is. And so I circled on here what you are looking for. The one on the right says 110, but it says 199 GSM. The higher the GSM, the thicker the cardstock actually is. So I don't even know why we have to deal with both of these numbers. If I was in the card making business, I would just stick with one number, please. But for some reason, this is how it's broken down. And the one on the left with the chameleon, we have 100 pound, but it's 271 GSM. So you want to look for that GSM piece, or GM sometimes, because the higher, the thicker. So it depends on what you're looking for, but keep that in mind, okay? The hammer mill on the right was not the right cardstock for card making. The one on the left works really well, and that's what I showed in the video. So I wanted to make sure I explained the difference between those two, because in a previous video we had talked about cardstock. I had showed you the one with the panda, and you all helped me out, which you often do. So thank you for that. Now let's talk about my favorite part, which is for this cheap chicken here. How much does this cost? So I left up the old cardstocks that I had reviewed and their cost, and I broke it all the way down to how much per sheet. So the hammer mill that I just reviewed in this video today is actually that GSM is not right. That GSM on the screen should be 271. So keep that in mind. Hold on, let me fix that. Okay, I just added the 271 over it. Sorry. If you knew what actually went into fixing this picture off camera, you would have mercy on me. So I'm just going to put the 271 up there. Anyway, back to what's important. The hammer mill with the chameleon on it comes out to be 9 cents a sheet. So how does that compare? Well, the Accent 80 pound comes out to be 6 cents a sheet. Same with the 100. So it really is comparable to the Accent Opaque. Does it sting a little bit that I'm paying almost, I'm paying three more, not even 3 more cents. Yeah, like 3 more cents for a piece of paper, probably, but I tried, folks. I did my best. I scoured the universe for the paper, because remember, it's not just the quality of the paper we're looking for. I can find lots of great quality paper out there, cardstock. It was the comparable price that kept me from bringing this video to you, because the prices just were not comparable. This, I feel like we're in the ballpark. I hope this helps. I hope this provides you an opportunity to get some more cardstock, because I'm sure some of us are running low if we're Accent fans. And I just hope this helps. Let me know in the comment section what you think. Share your favorite cardstock. If you have pricing, let us know where we can get it, all that good stuff. I appreciate all of you. I will link the video I talked about down below and at the end, and I will see you all in the comments down below and in the next video. Bye-bye. Also linked below, you will find a link for joining my email list. I'd love to have you. I send out deals and free stuff all the time, and it would be great to connect in that way. And then some more money savings and craft videos on the screen.